Hi there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. I was a dentist for 25 years and now doing the dental practice brokerage for 15. So, today's topic is emotional roller coaster between buyer and seller on the sale of a dental practice. We'll get into that, what happened. So, before we do, as you know, we are now available to you 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter, and we also are available on the East Coast from 8:30 a.m. till 8:30 p.m. So always just call us. Feel free to call us. Be happy to chat with you. There's no charge just to have a chat. If you want evaluation in your practice, we can help you with that too. Just give us a call. Our phone number is 201-663-0935. And our website is dentalpracticeguide.com and also nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. So call us. We'll be happy to talk to you. Now, everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes. If you're thinking about selling to a DSO, large corporate, call me. Often we know like 140 of them we deal with, and we'd be more than happy to work with you on that, okay? And give you advice and so forth. They will often pay our commission. So generally, there's no commission to a seller on the big DSO deals. You save so much money. And you get our guidance, and we think we can help you, steer you in the right directions, who's the best DSO. So please call me and we'll get into that. In addition, if your practice closes for over $1 million as a seller, we will reimburse your legal fees upon successful closing. So call us and we'll be more than happy to discuss that with you, okay? We've done that several times, did it like 3 weeks ago. Just give us a call and we'll have some answers for you. Now, emotional roller coaster. Here we go, another deal. We have a buyer paying top dollar. It's a buyer, real estate, dental office deal, post-employment for the seller. So a little complicated. You got a lot of moving parts. Post-employment for the seller, moving part. You have to have an employment contract. Buying the real estate, that's going to need inspections, etc. And last, the dental contract itself has to be negotiated. So there's moving parts in this deal. And buyer's paying a top dollar, and buyer feels they're a little entitled to some negotiation on terms on behalf of the seller. Well, I think the seller will be negotiating. He's not going to give things away for free, but I think we can negotiate something. But when I say emotional roller coaster, we're at the letter of intent stage, and the two attorneys, we're very lucky to have two dental attorneys who know each other. We're at the letter of intent stage, and they're beginning to try and get every major issue resolved on the letter of intent. They don't want to go any further than resolving every major issue, and that's wrong. You can't do that. You can certainly get the price of the building, price of the practice, get a few of those things going, but to try to resolve every single issue, you're far better off, when you have an issue that's not resolved, you could say the words, this is an unresolved issue to be discussed at a later time. You could put it in a contract, the buyer's position, seller's position. Let's say it's restrictive covenant, just a simple example. Buyer wants 25 miles, seller wants 10 miles. Buyer says, well, you're going to retire. What do you care how much it is? And the seller says, I may, maybe after my restrictive covenant, I'll go back to work or something like that, or do something while the restrictive covenant permitted on the restrictive covenant. I don't know, I may get bored at home. That could be the rationale with the seller. And you got a buyer that says, no, I want to hammer this out now. You can't do that because there could be, there could be other issues coming up. For example, the foundation of the building. What if the foundation of the building is sitting over a creek and it's a loose foundation and nobody said it was over a waterway? It's running into other problems. So that may be a bigger issue than arguing over restrictive covenant, right? It's a bigger issue. Put certain issues to be discussed later on aside, on the side. Get your main issues going. Get agreeable on the main issues. You know, if you're the seller and you're getting top dollar, well, maybe give a little flexibility. But buyer, you have to understand he spent his whole, or she spent their whole life at an office. Their whole life. They built the office up from scratch. They may have built it when it was from scratch, from new. You know, every coat of paint, every chair that was, you know, was a personal attachment to that. And suddenly they're giving up their financial employment, you know, even though they're going to work, but they, you know, don't have everything and write-offs that they had before. And they just remember certain things. It's not easy for them to walk away. And you have to appreciate that. You get a happy seller, you'll have a better result. I'm not saying give things away. I'm just telling you how it works. And then I talk to the seller under these circumstances, and I'll tell the seller, I'll say, look, you're getting top dollar. Maybe you should have a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of understanding. Speak to your attorney. See what they say. All right? And both of the buyers, this is my advice. Now, I was called in. I generally don't want to interfere when negotiations are going on between the two attorneys. But they did call me in. But because I know both buyer and seller, it's going to be a little easier for me. I could talk to one and then talk to the other and go back to the other. Of course, with the attorney's permission, don't want to negotiate over attorneys because it's not a good idea. There may be things that were said between the two attorneys that you're not privy to, and now you're the third person getting involved. Of course, as I mentioned, I'll only do that when the attorney asks me to intervene. And that's what I did at this point. Basically, I always strive for amicable resolution on all points. If you got the sale price down pat, you got the building down pat, maybe something else, big issues on it, just get out the letter of intent. Just get it out and let the seller sign it. Okay? Don't waste your time bickering over small-time nonsense, which can be resolved at a later time. I'm not saying don't resolve it. I'm just saying, hey, we can talk about this at a later time. So, or just put it as an unresolved issue. Because all of a sudden, another huge issue may come up, really huge. And then you're starting to say, well, why did I waste my time bickering over those small points? So that's important. Keep that in your mind. This is what we're going through now. I talk about emotional roller coaster. That's what I'm going through. I got the seller says, well, I want to resolve this and I'm not budging until it's resolved. The seller has another issue. I want that resolved before we're going on, or else I'm not going to go forward. I'm like, look, you two, listen to me. I've done this hundreds of times. Attorneys have done it thousands of times. All right? Thousands of times. They know what they're doing. You got to take advice from them. I'll give you advice. Take advice from your attorney. And your attorney's done this so often. Hold on, I'm at an intersection here. Remember, always be careful at intersections. Never talk on your phone. Keeps your mind off things. Anyway, so the attorneys are so familiar with these arguments. They've been through it so many times. That is getting bogged down on an issue as you move forward to the contract. Once you get to the contract, there's so many things in there to be negotiated. What are you getting yourself crazy over this? Say, well, I'm walking away if I can't get this done. No, you don't say that. You say, let's get this done. We're not agreeing to this or disagreeing on either party. Let's just say this has to be resolved. And maybe as you proceed forward, there could be issues that come up. It could be getting the selling doctor to get you on the insurance plan. It could be so many other things. So, don't get yourself all crazy. And we're here to help as brokers. That's what we could do. In fact, I said that to like the seller or something. I said, look, I'm not a super expert, but how many deals have you done? He said, well, I've done 3 deals. I said, well, I've done hundreds. So, you're telling me that all of a sudden you know everything? Your attorneys have done thousands, and you're telling me you know more than them, and you've only done 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe? You got to lighten up. So you try to communicate along that vein. I think I'm getting somewhere. That's where the broker comes in. The broker can talk to everybody. And that's what I could do. So that's where we are, team. We hope we get this resolved. I think we will. Because we have great attorneys, we'll get on it. And just keep hammering it until we have an answer. Thank you so much for listening. Hit the subscribe button. You'll get posted with all the new info. Thanks, bye.